Hi guys, it's me Julia. I'm here today because I've been given the challenge to do a tutorial only using my Sigma brushes. So I thought I would do my everyday face just using my Sigma brushes and see what we can do. So as far as eyes go, it's going to be kind of like a rosy brown kind of eye. This is a little Ulta Quad that I've been using every day this week and really enjoying it, and it's in Girly Girl, and it's got like a nice kind of metallic rosy color here and a nice dark brown. And the brushes that I'm going to be using today are my Sigma E20 short shader brush, which looks like this. One or both of these face brushes, which is my foundation. I always have to look at what this is. I know exactly what it is. This is my F80 flat top kabuki, my F60 foundation brush. Then I've got the F05 small contour brush, the E55 shading brush, which is going to be like multi-purpose, the E25 blending brush, and then you know, the tapered highlighter. This is the F35. So I may or may not use both. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my F60 foundation brush and I'm going to use it to apply my primer. I put way too much on, so we're going to brush that off. And I'm just, like I said, applying it all over the face. And I'm using the viewfinder as a mirror, so I quite like this brush in that it's a nice big foundation brush. I like that it's got a nice big fat head on it, and it's a little bit thicker, so I feel like it just blends better than the thinner ones and the smaller ones that tend to streak a lot, I find. So I quite like that one. But to switch it up, I'm going to use my favorite Sigma brush. It's the flat top F80 kabuki brush. It's used by a lot of people on YouTube. It's a very well liked product, and it really does deserve the hype. It's an excellent product. Excellent brush. So I'm using this for this liquid BB cream, my Korean BB cream from Leo Welly. But I really love this for cream foundation products. I think it's an excellent tool for applying cream foundation. Okay, so we've got that all on. And the next thing we're going to do is the eyes, and then I'll conceal after. Sometimes I do my concealing before I put my foundation on, but with the darker shadows that I've been using lately, I find it best to conceal after, because if there's any kind of fallout, which creates kind of like mucky looking shadows under your eyes, it's nice to have your concealing done And last. Next I'm going to go into my little quad, and I'm going to take the E55 shading brush. And this is actually a really nice brush because it works to pack on color, and I use it to, you know, do work in the crease, and it kind of works as a blending brush. So it's very multi-purpose. I'm just going to put this kind of pale vanilla color on my lids. And just kind of bring it up all over the whole lid. And if you left it like that, you could look like you were from, you know, 1963. Okay, next I'm going to take the light. There's a really kind of shimmery shell pink color. And I'm going to take that on the short shader brush. This short shader brush is not one of my favorites. I'm just using it to take the color into the inner corner and along the lower lash line there, just to kind of make my eyes look farther apart and a little bit more awake, because I'm coming down with a cold and I'm not feeling very awake. So the thing that I don't like about this short shader brush is I find it's kind of painful because it's very scratchy. And, you know, I find that I have other brushes that, you know, I can use to do what I use this brush for, which is to smudge shadow underneath the lash line. That's what I'm going to use it for today, but to be honest, I hardly ever reach for it. Next, we're going back with the E55, and we're going to go into this main color here, which is this nice kind of metallic rosy color. And I'm going to apply this on the outer. I'm just going to pat it on and blend it into the outer third, and blending it into that white color. And you can also use this brush to bring the color into the crease. And I use it to blend and everything because it's a nice fluffy shape. Like, it's not too stiff, but it's also not too loose. So it's good for placing color and good for blending. Then I'm taking the E25 brush and I'm using that to just kind of blend out that line. And this is a brush that I had very high hopes for and have ended up not liking at all because it's really not kept its shape. It's supposed to have a more chiseled shape than that, but it's still okay for blending. But it's not as good for placing color as the MAC 217 is. I'm also taking some of that color on the edge of the E20 short shading brush, and I'm going to use that to smudge the color underneath my lower lash line. Next, I'm taking just a brown eyeliner, and I'm using that to define all along the lash line. And to get really close to the lashes, I just pull up a little bit. And I can't see. So when I come back, I'll have had this done. The next step I'm going to do is take the E20 short shader brush again, and I'm going into a dark kind of espresso brown matte shade. And I'm just putting that on the edge, and I'm using that to smudge out that liner. So I'm just going to go back over that line and kind of use the brush to soften that so it doesn't look like a harsh line. And the powder also helps set the liner. And that's why we didn't put concealer on first, because now I've got a little bit of brown fallout from that. So I'm going to put some concealer on now. And I'm just going to start by placing it. I'm just using my corrector, peach colored corrector right now. I'm going to dab that, press it in using my fingers. And clean off my, I cleaned off my blending brush, and I'm just going to use that to blend it out because I like using a brush to apply my concealer. I'm also going to take a little dab of just regular concealer on the back of my hand. And I'm going to use the same brush to just kind of apply that to any areas where I have redness. But I don't want it to cake on so much, so that's why I'm just applying it kind of with a dry brush. Okay, so off camera, I'm just going to go and apply my mascara because I don't use a brush for that. And if I use the viewfinder to apply my mascara, I'll probably blind myself. I'm going to take my NYX Cream Blush in Natural, and I'm going to apply it with that foundation brush, the F80, and I'm just going to very lightly dab it on to the brush and place it, just kind of pounce it onto the apples of my cheeks. And you don't want to put too much on, or else you'll end up with, you know, big pink polka dots on your cheeks. Just kind of pounce that on. And see, it's actually quite a strong blush and such a dense brush that it will really pick up a lot of product and put it on. So I'm just going to go back in with my foundation brush just to blend that into the skin. Then I'm going to take a bronzer. This is a new bronzer that I'm just trying out. It's another NYC product. It's the Sun and Bronze Bronzing Powder in Fire Island Tan. So I'm going to take that on the small contour brush because it's kind of like a small fluffy blush brush. And I'm just going to use that to apply to the backs of my cheeks. And blend that all over. I take that up into the hairline as well. Just wherever you want to add a little bit of light. And it does layer nicely over top of the blush. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to take a finishing powder, and I'm using my Bare Minerals. I've been using this a lot lately. And I'm going to take that on the F35 small tapered highlighting brush. Just kind of swirl that around. And I'm going to use that underneath the eyes. This is actually a good shape of a brush for underneath the eyes. The only problem is when I drag it, I very often get hairs come out. So if there's like some sort of cream product and I'm blending over top and you get a hair, it just makes a big mess. So this, again, is not a brush that... I've been quite disappointed with the shedding factor of my Sigma brushes. But this is a nice shape. It gets into the little corners wherever I want to highlight, or not highlight, sorry, powder. There, just to set everything up. And that's it for the face. And I'm just going to top off with a little kind of rosy toned lip gloss, but I don't need a brush for that. And there you go, and that's it. So just a plain, not, you know, a lot going on. But it was great, a great exercise in using my Sigma brushes and showing you how I use those. So I hope that was informative, and thank you for the request, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys!